We're going to take a look at an example here of a linear equation, and we're going to do it a couple steps. We're going to look at what does it represent, can we make a table of values, and then finally, can we go through and graph it out. So we're going to do it in three parts, and so it'll be kind of three separate pieces of this video. So first of all, let's take a look at the equation that's happening. So we have the equation x plus y is equal to 6. And I'm asking you to explain how the two variables are related in this equation. Well, there's always a relationship between two variables in a linear equation or any equation really, and it's represented by the operations that are used and the numbers that are there as well. In this case, we are adding the two together, so we have x plus y, and so what it means is that they combine or add to get 6. So any combination of x and y is going to have to add to get 6. Now, while you're thinking about that, there's probably some examples you can think of that work, right? Like 1 and 5, or 2 and 4, or 3 and 3. These are all values of x and y that we could have, and as long as they both add to get 6, that's all we're looking for. Now, on the second part, let's create a table of values with 5 values for that same equation. When we're doing this, a table of values can look like a number of different things. I'm going to use certain x values of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the y values which complement that. And you can see them on the screen there. We have when x is 1, y has to be 5. When x is 2, y has to be 4, and so on and so forth. Now, when x is 5, then y is 1, right? So it could be the opposites as well because they are adding together. So here is our table of values that we can use, and I have 5 values in that, or 5 pieces in that table. Final thing I'd like you to do is to use that table of values to graph out the equation. Now, when we're graphing out an equation, we're always going to use a xy plane. X being the horizontal axis, y being the vertical axis. Okay, so x is going horizontally, y is going vertically. They are labeled. Okay, so you'll notice that my x-axis has a little x on the right-hand side, and my y-axis has a little y on the top. They have arrows, which represent that it continues on forever in both directions. And then I have labeled some specific numbers, such as 2, 4, and 6, as well as the negatives, on both the x and the y axis. These numbers are spaced evenly apart, which means that each of the lines, okay, on there represent a step of 1. In this case, it's 1. They could be any value. We could do a decimal. We could do a much bigger value, but that needs to be on there. So then I'm going to take my points from my previous example there, and I'm going to plot them out. So we have 1, 5, 2, 4, 3, 3, 4, 2, and 5, 1. Okay, that's where they plot. Remember that the first number represents the x. So for 1, 5, we're going 1 on the x and 5 on the y, and so on and so forth. And so these are our points. Now you'll notice that they are in a straight line, but these are not the only points that are possible for this equation. This line right here represents all of the points. So again, the points keep on going. We could use 0, 6 or 6, 0. We could also use a decimal number in there as well, which go in between. Any of those would all work as long as the two numbers add to get 6. So that line is made up of an infinite number of points which go exactly in order, okay, in order to get that line. All right, I hope that helps you, and happy math.